making the case in HRX for Dignitas. Not too hard a case to make, right? Dignitas right now feel like they're the top team, probably because they just are the top team. Your number one overall seed between Europe and North America, between the teams that had to go to the placement stages and the teams that didn't. Right now, Dignitas, they're just that team that looked that strong, and they certainly earned it off a really strong fall split performance, looking great in spring as well, even though they didn't make summer. This is the kind of team that I think can win, so if you're wondering, oh no, I'm a big Rival fanboy, I'm a big Space Station fanboy, support my team, don't worry, I'm going to do one for every team and make the case for all 8 squads that are coming into HRX that they could be the ones that are crowned the champ. I just think Dig's probably going to be the easiest case to make, so we're starting with them. Your number 1 seed. So this is the bracket. You got a good idea of exactly what each team's pathway is going to be, trying to make their way through. Dignitas very likely going to be the favorites over Space Station. I imagine then they'll play Obey. They'll be the favorites there. And then they'll be playing up against, I imagine, United, especially with Energy missing Yemen. And again, I'll go through all the other teams in more detail, but I figure this one could be the one where we talk a little bit about what we can expect from Dignitas in particular. And there's the boys, looking good as always, aren't they? What more is there to say about this team? They're just so consistently strong. I think that if you're worried about this team, the only thing to worry about is that they have a hard time closing it out. It seems like spring comes to mind, when they definitely should have been the LAN champions, but they lose to Rival. They don't even make it in summer. They're so consistently good online. But when's the last time they won a LAN? It was Valencia summer of Season 4, right? I mean, that's a long time ago. For a team that's this consistently good online, a team that hasn't made any roster changes, I can't think of a good reason why we haven't been seeing more consistent wins from them. Now, I've made this claim before. Trixtank took exception. He was saying they still are very close. They often do well, and I think you're right. But this team is so good that, for me, number 1 is the expectation from them. And how come they aren't able to close it out? Well, I think that the reasons why this team are looking strong comes down in large part to Zeros. He's so consistently good for this team in the mid lane. Yemen, I think, would be the best mid laner here, but with Yemen not at the event, it's very likely Zeros next up, and there's a good chance that he can run the tournament. I mean, Morrigan is still a very strong pick, and there's too many bans right now where to justify a Morrigan ban, Zeros will certainly be in a good spot because of that. I might have buried the lead a little bit, but Cuvo Fred is exceptionally strong as well in the jungle for this team. Listen, we keep saying Cuvo are adapting. It's not fair, perhaps, to say to Cuvo. He has made the case many times through his play that it is adapting as good as Cuvo. That's how good this guy is. And just like Zeros, I think the meta positions him in a really good spot to be strong because there's so many good junglers right now. Odin's getting banned. Fenrir's getting banned if the placement LAN is anything to judge off of. How do you ban away Cuvo's God Pool then, right? How do you ban away Mercury and Erlong and Pele and Odin and all these other junglers you just can't let him have, right? He could still get Rat, he could still get Odin, he could still get, I mean, there's so many picks that he could take. Unboss from Cuvo Fred would be frightening, and you probably can't afford to ban that at any point. So I think between those two, they're just in such a good spot. You also have a tremendously consistent dual lane between Trixtank and Arkle. Trixtank used to be the guy that played super aggressive and sometimes got punished. I think now Trixtank plays aggressive, and who punishes him? I don't know if anyone can. He just seems to get away with it over there in the duo lane, and there's more aggressive picks for him now as well, with Fenrir being a popular one and Odin also getting some value. He could take any of those gods over to the soul lane, even Erlang. They have some flex potential there, and use it to bully out. I mean, that's how Splice has risen up recently, is off duo pressure. Arkle and Trixtank can take their dual lane pressure, steal your red buff, steal your purple, control the oracles, even affect mid harpies. That kind of control sets up Zeros and Cuvo Fred to be in a great spot, because now there's extra farm that either they're denying to their direct opponents or that Zeros and Cuvo can be a part of. Having that consistently strong dual lane is huge for your team, and Dignitas, they absolutely have it. Then there's variety. What else need be said? This guy is a top tier, high echelon soul laner. I don't know who you pick that's better than him. Maybe Benji, maybe Deathwalker, and that is with a maybe there. I don't even know if it's true. He will very rarely lose your lane. He'll play Sobek, he'll play Chang'e, he'll play whatever that you need over there, and then he'll rotate over and he'll be ahead of whoever was in the soul lane against him. And with some shakier ones over there, I mean, he could certainly end up winning. Again, they're going to be in Space Station first. That match with him and Aquarius is going to be huge, but even as good as Aqua's been, I don't see how I don't give that matchup to Variety. So that's me making the case for Dignitas winning. HRX, a very easy case to make with how strong this team is. They are, I think, the clear favorites in a world where Energy doesn't have Yemen and has to play with Homie. Right now, they're my top pick until someone beats them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard not to have this team as your favorite. So don't worry, the other videos are going to be coming out soon. Who do you think is your favorite? Make sure you comment here below. Fill out your bracket if you haven't yet either. I'll make sure that link's in the description, and I've tweeted it out as well. Thanks for watching. Next one's coming soon.